Welcome back. In September 2017, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onnoghen, announced the setting up of a Corruption and Financial Crime Cases Trial Monitoring Committee, which was chaired by a retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Suleiman Galadima. The committee was set up in response to the concerns expressed by Nigerians on the very slow speed at which corruption cases were being heard and disposed of by the courts. The committee has since submitted a preliminary report, and one of its findings is that prosecution of high-profile cases has been very weak. Now, the Center for Socio-Legal Studies has correctly identified that prosecution cannot be effective without proper investigation, and it's for this reason and more that they teamed up with the Federal Ministry of Justice to organize a national training for investigators. Here's some of the highlights from that training.
It's a gathering comprising mostly investigators and prosecutors from different parts of the nation who have been nominated for training by the leadership of the various agencies of criminal justice administrations in the country. Investigators perform a crucial function without which criminal prosecution is impossible, yet they are often overlooked for training and capacity building, and so this collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Justice and the Center for Socio-Legal Studies is timely.
Think twice before rejecting such evidence.
The president of the center, Professor Akinseye George, believes that a training like this will create an effective platform among investigators and enhance sharing of knowledge and expertise, building of networks and strengthening of cooperation, which will promote better service to the criminal justice administration of the country.
In a recent report published by the National Judicial Council, the problems of delay of criminal justice administration was partly placed at the doorsteps of investigators and prosecutors. It is elementary that we cannot have a good prosecution without proper investigation. It is worrisome that there is excessive reliance on confessional statements by investigators and prosecutors to win convictions. This practice causes delays in trials due to trial within trial, which may run into years, particularly when we have multiple defendants making several statements, confessional statements. Therefore, it is pertinent for the improvement in our criminal justice system to adopt new investigation trends which leverage on modern technology and forensics.
Lagos State is championing the course of forensic investigations, and the Attorney General of the state is here to share some of the practical steps Lagos is taking.
To enhance the quality of evidence collected during investigation, the state has recently gotten the approval from His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State to equip statement recording rooms in specific police stations in compliance with the administration of criminal justice law of Lagos State and in line with international best practices. Specifically, we've identified like 15 police commands, including the Lagos State Police Command Headquarters, to establish state-of-the-art witness processing room, what I call written processing rooms.
That's right.
Where you have recording, all the things that you will see on the movies, they are equipped there. This, as you recollect, our own ACGL in Section 9 says that you must have it properly recorded or have a lawyer.
That's right.
And in prosecuting some of our offenses, we found out that that's a great problem. So you can imagine the confessional statements that were referred to by Professor Akinseye George. Once you have them properly taken, properly recorded, then I will say 50% of the work is done.
That's right. That's right.
Because you have a suspect that later comes out and says that, look, he did not say that. He's confronted with properly recorded a statement that is not under duress. And it's played to the court, and it makes the prosecutor's job easier. It makes the adjudicator's job easier. It cuts time. It puts another criminal away.
Apart from dwelling on the use of technology in investigations, the 3-day training also dwelt on the provisions of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act for expediting investigations, asset tracing, tracking and recovery, as well as principles and techniques of investigations. There were also syndicate sessions which discussed practical challenges facing the investigators with a view to improving their working conditions. The interactions which followed were very robust. The investigators asked questions about grey areas of the law and shared their practical experiences. Some of the challenges they identified include interference of lawyers with taking the statements of suspects, poor recording and lack of equipment in rural and state offices of investigators, state laws which contradict the administration of criminal justice law.
We must try to move away from that resistant attitude to change, right, to now adopting a change process to improve our system. Because until we change the system, we will not get the desired results that we need. And we must realize that too, a law is a statement of an aspiration. When you put a law in place, it's an aspiration that you want to achieve. It doesn't mean that you must achieve it that very day. You work towards achieving that aspiration.
The Center for Social Legal Studies played a central role in bringing about the passage of the Criminal Justice Act of 2015, and it says it has the clout to advocate for better treatment in the working conditions of the investigators, especially in comparison to those in other jurisdictions. The expectation is that feedback from here would also generate a practical manual for investigators.
It's so pertinent that there are so many crimes and that people just have a free day because they don't have tools or because the way of investigation is in line with the old technique rather than the new trends. So I'm hoping that by the time we finish this conference, our investigators and our prosecution will see a new way to collaborate and also to get themselves involved in modern trends of investigating so that crime in Nigeria will be solved and we can have a crime-free society.